Hey everybody. Today I'm going to come at you guys with some histograms. So we're just going to talk real quick about how to make one, frequency histogram, and then also a little bit about median and the shape. First of all, I have a set of data again, bless you, that's already in order from least to greatest. And a histogram is basically where we're going to break this data up into bars. So we're not going to see specific numbers. We're going to see like groups. So for example, when I make my number line here, maybe this time it looks like fives is probably appropriate. If you want some context, this data is team is researching the age of viewers for certain TV shows to decide whether to advertise during that show. The data shows the age of random sample of 30 viewers of the show based on their findings. So they want to market something, and it's going to be launched towards adults 25 years to 34 years of age. And they want to see if this show would be an appropriate show to market that at. So we're going to have our number line. So let's go by fives. Now, basically how we're going to read this is if it's in between 0 to 5, that's all the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4.99999, right? So if it starts a 5, it's going to go in this bar. The number on the left is the first number in that section. So basically what you want to do is kind of break these down. So for example, between 10 and 15, we'd have these two numbers, two 14s. So what's going to happen over here is there's going to have a frequency. We'll go by twos here. And that's how many times these numbers occur. So there's two numbers between 10 and 15. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a bar that goes up to 2, like so. And then between 15 and all the way to 20, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this bar is going to go up to 10. That's all the numbers up till 20. And then between 20 and 25, we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 again. That's interesting. So keep the bar going. And then from 25 to 30, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So over here at 4, we're going to make a bar that goes to 4. And then from 30, 31, 32, so there's 3. And then there's 1 that goes between 35 and 30, or whatever. 35 and 40, like that. So this is a histogram, a frequency histogram. So it's going to tell you, you're going to divvy up the numbers into groups. Now you can kind of pick these blocks, like for example, on your projects that you're going to do, you can kind of decide what you want to go by down here on the x-axis, the number line part. But the frequency is probably just going to be something like how many times it occurs. You're not going to have a ton. So, and then some things about histograms. They tell us a little bit about distributions. So a normal distribution is going to look like a bell curve. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the bell curve, but a bell curve is like where there's a little bit of data on the ends, and the big majority of your data is in this middle 2/3 section, right? Something like that. If it's a normal distribution, then our histogram would look kind of like this. But notice this one doesn't really look like that. I don't know if you noticed that or not. It looks more like there's a big hump here, and then it goes out like that. This is what we call skewed right. Skewed right. Skewed means that it's kind of drug out on one side. So we have a lot of data over here on the left, right? There's a lot going on over here. But then we have some stragglers, if you will, that kind of go out to the side. Whatever side you have the like little bits of data on, like that goes out, that's the side it's called skewed to. And so skewed gives us kind of the shape, and it kind of tells us a little bit of information. So when we think about median and we think about mean here, average and things like that, when you have more numbers like that kind of go out farther in one way, obviously we don't have much going on over here, right? But over here we have some. The average gets pulled towards the skew. So, you know, these numbers that are higher are going to make our average go a little bit higher. The median, we say, is in the balance point. So think of this just as on a plate. Where would you put your finger so that this balances? Probably somewhere like right here. Right? Pretty close to 20 is my guess. If I actually found my median up here on my board, I bet it's pretty darn close to 20. Because that would be, you know, this side would even out with this side. Maybe like 21. However, the average is going to be closer to this way. So if the median, we'll say, is right here, the average, or the mean, will be farther to the right. We'll say somewhere in here. Because it's skewed that way. And that's obviously just an estimate, but I feel like that's what histograms are really good for. They give us an overall picture of the distribution of the data, and then it also kind of lets me see what the shape looks like, where I think my median and mean could be in there. So that's, generally speaking, what a histogram is going to look like and how we use it and how we can draw one. Which is what you guys are going to have to do. So that was like a little example, but that's probably long enough for this video. What do you think? Sure. All right.